All right, here's an anonymous question that says, how should we approach a situation where one spouse is doing something potentially harmful to the health of the family, yet won't quit? For example, vaping inside the home. So how should you approach the situation? One spouse, I guess the first question I would ask is like, hey, what's your relationship to this one spouse, right? So like if I just know them sort of in a distant way, it's going to be harder to approach them. If I'm closer to them, I can approach them with that relationship. So let's say that you're a spouse. Let's say they're your spouse. Like say it's the husband and you're the wife, or the other way around. It's the wife doing it and you're the husband. If you're married to them, you have a special role where you need to be able to, when things are important, to be able to confront them on those issues and talk to them about it. This is part of that role. So, you should approach them in that case. Depending on how distant you are from the person, you may or may not go meddle in their business. I think there's a lot of wisdom that just has to be weighed in there. But potentially harmful to the health of the family, and they won't quit. Like say vaping inside the home. Okay. Yeah, I mean that. I don't know the statistics on vaping. It seems obviously unhealthy. like you're like I don't need a medical doctor to tell me that vaping is going to cause long-term problems for people who do it a lot. I've lived long enough to know that. But the way you approach them, I think, is a big deal here. And so how can you not pander to them, right? Like not play games where you pretend like I just want you to know I really appreciate you. You're so great in so many ways, and I have to think of 7 more nice things to say before I bring you this one hard thing. I don't think you want to necessarily do that, but I would recommend being super, super straightforward and honest, in the sense that you just you tell them what your real heart and concerns are. But telling them your heart before you tell them the issue can be a positive thing. I love you. I respect you. I care for you. And I have something that I'm concerned about. Can I tell you about it? Right? And sometimes a little question like that, asking permission to tell them about it, can be very disarming, because you got their permission, right? You're not forcing something upon them at that point. I think that can be a good tactic. Can I tell you about this thing? I have something I'm really concerned about. Do it when they're calm. Do it when they're not in a hurry. Do it when they didn't just have an argument. Do it when they're not in front of all their family, if you can avoid it. Do it privately. Do it graciously. I think that Galatians gives us some advice on this. And here's the passage. Brothers, if anyone is caught in any transgression, here's the routine. You who are spiritual should restore him in a spirit of gentleness, keeping watch on yourself, lest you too be tempted. There are 3 things here about restoring them, and they're all about the person doing the restoring. So if I'm the one correcting you, I have to be spiritual, like you who are spiritual. So don't be, if you're an unspiritual person, you're going to not correct people very well. I have to restore them in a spirit of gentleness. So immediately, even though I'm feeling like I might want to say it harshly, I'm going to try and do it softly. I'm going to try and soften everything I'm about to say to you. I'm going to do this with a gentle spirit, not lie, not deceive, just gently, right? Instead of harshly. And keep watch on yourself lest you be tempted, because when you go to approach someone else, when you go to correct somebody else, that is exactly the moment when you will fall into hypocritical sin, judging in the negative way as opposed to the positive way. That's a temptation for us. So every one of us should, follow Galatians 6:1 in that regard.